The 21 Pilots are one of the more interesting bands to come up in the last few years, and as someone who enjoys critical deconstruction, car radio is something that warrants an in-depth examination. It's not only important in terms of the band's career, but when you look at it on a deeper level, you get a newfound appreciation for it. And before we begin, I strongly advise you go listen to the song before watching this video. Otherwise, I doubt you'll find much interest in this. So first off, it's important in any form of critiquing to first determine how much of the assessed material is literal and metaphorical. If it were completely literal, then this would just be another quirky alternative song, and if it were all symbolic, then there's no ground for you to base any of it on. It'd be just interpretation and no real meaning. So in that vein, the car radio being stolen is factual, and the true meaning of this song is that of someone coping with depression. Let me explain. When you have depression, you find something that helps take your mind off of it, a distraction if you will. This could be artistic expression, excessive eating, or in this case, listening to music. The choice of a car radio over, say, an iPod or headphones is to convey that sense of isolation to the listener. Driving by ourselves is something we all do, but without music, the experience becomes completely different, especially in this person's case. The mood begins to set into the driver as the piano eases in, and he narrates, "I ponder of something great. My lungs will fill and then deflate. They fill with fire, exhale desire. I know it's dire my time today." As these feelings begin to seep in, he tries to calm himself by steadily breathing, inhaling his anger and exhaling with the hope of it going away. He then segues from this idea to the chorus saying, "I have these thoughts, so often I ought to replace that slot with what I once bought, 'cause somebody stole my car radio and now I just sit in silence." There is a reason for this being the chorus, but I'll get into that later. But he continues off that mention of silence with, "Sometimes quiet is violent. I find it hard to hide it. My pride is no longer inside. It's on my sleeve, my skin will scream, reminding me of who I killed inside my dream. I hate this car that I'm driving. There's no hiding from me. I'm forced to deal with what I feel. There is no distraction to mask what is real. I could pull the steering wheel." The reality he uses the car radio to distract himself from is that of his depression-ridden psyche, and he is now forced to confront these feelings without any resolution to come about, given the nature of his condition. And rather than go through that, which seems pointless to him, he questions ending it all. And one of the things people immediately notice also is that the lyrics are neither sung nor rapped. They are instead performed in spoken word. And while that may be seen as a stylistic choice, it's safe to assume that it was actually a thematic one. The narrator speaks in a stream of conscious style to properly convey his thoughts and emotions. "I ponder of something terrifying, 'cause this time there's no sound to hide behind. I find over the course of our human existence, one thing consists of consistence, and it's that we're all battling fear. Oh dear, I don't know if we know why we're here. Oh my, too deep, please stop thinking. I liked it better when my car had sound." This is an example of what someone would refer to as dangerous thinking, thoughts that delve so deep into the fabric of the human condition that this person has to shut himself up to avoid insanity. He digresses with this proposal. "There are things we can do, but from the things that work there are only two, and from the two that we choose to do, peace will win and fear will lose. There's faith and there's sleep. We need to pick one, please, because faith is to be awake, and to be awake is for us to think, and for us to think is to be alive, and I will try with every rhyme to come across like I am dying to let you know you need to try to think." Upon initial listening, it sounds as though this would be a call from the driver to all people, segueing from his thoughts on human existence, but considering how personal and experienced this song is detailing, it's fair to believe that this is his better conscience bargaining with not only his depression, but himself. As if he's strongly considering suicide, but a part of him is fighting to stay alive, because peace will win and fear will lose. The two options that are laid out before him are faith and sleep, or in other words, hope that one day it will get better, and laying down to never wake up again. One can assume that this shows this is his better side of him speaking, because he goes into greater detail explaining the benefits of faith than simply giving up. Now for the reason the lyrics in the chorus were chosen. From an outsider's point of view, the solution is incredibly simple, despite our narrator's peril. Just buy another car radio. However, with depression, no matter how straightforward the answer may be, it might as well not even exist or be mentioned. The fact that this has happened is enough for someone with this disorder to want to give up on everything, because it either reminds them of how temporary everything is, or they get sidetracked with all their tragic thoughts brought on by this. We reach the bridge of the song where it gets loud and crazy, But in this song's case, it's not an obligatory breakdown so something big happens. It's the person moving past sorrow and into anger over the situation, bringing him closer to possibly killing himself. Then it goes quiet, as if it's happened, but the song begins just as it started. He recites the song up until the first chorus before abruptly ending, thus representing the never-ending and vicious cycle of depression. Car Radio is on the surface a catchy and very charming song, but it's that rare case of a popular song that actually rewards you when you examine it closer and decode its quirkiness, and it was, in my opinion, the best song from 2014. I hope this helps shine a new light on this song as it did for me. It really is an interesting little gem. The 21 Pilots are really fun in terms of critiquing, and definitely a band to keep an eye out for right now.